Retrospect encourages us to reflect on our stories, our histories, and our past experiences as we uncover the wisdom that shapes our future possibilities.
I want to begin by inviting you to close your eyes. And I want you to imagine that you are at a place on this planet where you feel completely comfortable and at ease. Really put yourself there. Maybe it's a warm spot on the couch at home. Maybe it's a beautiful day at your favorite beach. Anywhere where you feel safe and secure. Take some deep breaths. Think about what you see, what you hear, what you feel. Good. Thank you. You can open your eyes now. The hope is that for most of you, that little exercise gave you at least some sense of calm. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. The power of place. Specifically, the places where our lives unfold and where our most important memories are created. I consider myself pretty lucky because for the last 13 years of my adult life, I've come to work at a place where some of my most specific and important adolescent memories came to be, right here at Laguna Blanca School. Here I am, September 2nd, 1996, my first day as a Laguna Blanca owl. School hadn't quite started yet, but I was here to take some placement tests. And what they did was they put me in this little tiny room. I mean, no bigger than a closet, really. And what's funny is, for the last 7 years of my career, that room has been my office. I didn't plan it that way, but I'm grateful for it, and that's a special place for me. Right here in this gym, there are memories everywhere. For example, right over there by the entrance where you walked in today, that's where during my senior year homecoming dance, I asked the DJ if I could grab the mic and rap along to the brand new Dr. Dre song that had come out. It is now an OG classic Dr. Dre song. And I nailed it, at least in my own memory I did. Right over there, right on the back row on the right side, that's where I was subbed out of a really important volleyball match after missing a key serve. And I walked off the court with my head hanging and my shoulders sagging. And my then coach, and now mentor still, and colleague and friend Jason Donnelly, really admonished me. He said, "Hey, we do not walk off the court with our head down." That stuck with me. He was right. Body language matters. And then over there, right where you're sitting, in the back row, that's where I broke my arm during a JV basketball game. But the most important memories to me on this campus nowadays aren't the ones that I'm the center of. They're the ones that, as an educator, I get to help facilitate and witness all the time. Just last week, I was announcing a girls' basketball game in this room, and Gianna, freshman, smallest kid on the court, swished a three-pointer right over there, right in front of the student section, and I got to announce it. Out there on that football field, Carter got to jump into a game one last time despite being injured as our only senior, and he scored a touchdown. About a month ago, Finley ran into the senior quad after getting into his top choice college and announced happily that it had happened. And his friends ran out of class to mob him. As educators, we get to experience those kinds of moments with those kids. And conversely, when our students are going through really tough times, traumatic memories, we have the honor of getting to help them through those as well. So why am I telling you about all of this? I think back to my first day of graduate school. The class was educational psychology, and we were learning about different theories about how young people learn things most effectively and how they construct meaning of the world around them. And the theory that stuck with me the most was constructivism. Constructivism is based on the work of thinkers like Piaget and Vygotsky. And at its core, constructivism says that young people don't learn the best just by hearing something. or by reading about it. They learn through their experiences. And after they have those experiences, they reflect upon them. Even better, they reflect upon them with other people. I think we do constructivism pretty well here at Laguna Blanca School. Just like last week, we had our Mission to Mars project. See, we don't just tell our 8th graders how hard it might be to colonize Mars one day. We let them try to do it. They break off into teams. They assume different roles. They build mini Mars rovers and rockets. They plan out in detail how they're going to run their colony and take care of the people living there and fight off enemies. And then they present all of this to a panel of experts. And they have to defend questions. That's constructivism. Today, TEDx Laguna Blanca School is constructivism. See, we don't just tell students how to run an organization or how hard it might be. We let them do it. And they've done a pretty good job, am I right? But here's my addition to that. The places where those experiences take place matter more than we think. And you don't have to just take my word for it. There's all sorts of research out there that says that if you return to a place where a very positive or happy memory was formed, it can actually change your brain chemistry. You can feel a sense of joy, a sense of purpose and connectedness. Of course, if you find yourself returning to a place where a traumatic event took place, something negative, those negative feelings can come back. But if you go back to that place with intention, and you frame it the right way, you can learn to move past that trauma, figure out what it meant to you. Pretty interesting stuff. That's called trauma therapy. It's actually for people with PTSD. It's called exposure therapy. So for me, that means I spend my days walking over layers and layers of different kinds of memories. And they are everywhere. I taught 7th grade English in the same room where I was a 7th grade English student. I remember where I was when I first held hands with my first girlfriend. It's a pretty great moment. And I remember where I was after just about a month of glorious hand-holding and even a first kiss or two, where that girlfriend dumped me. Hey, 8th grade is a rough ride, okay? I remember where I was when I got an F on a quiz. I remember where I was when I first logged on to something called the internet. I remember where I was when I found out I got denied by my top choice college. And I remember where I was a few weeks later when I made the decision of what college I was going to go to. That was a big sense of relief. But there were layers in that office because about 15 years after that, I sat in there and found out that a colleague not much older than me had suddenly and tragically passed away. So the memories are really everywhere. There are places on this campus where I have felt so fulfilled and overjoyed that I cried my eyes out. I was really happy in this moment, and that's my attempt at a smile for Brad, the photographer who's here today. That was the best I could do. But there are also places on this campus where I felt so alone and lost and empty that I cried my eyes out. That was my senior year. It was a crazy year. The September 11th terror attacks had happened in the first couple weeks of school. And then the typical Laguna Blanca senior experience of the rigor of AP tests and exams and not knowing where you're going to be in the next year. It's pretty stressful, but for me, it was something more than that. But thankfully, at a community like this, we have all sorts of people on campus, adults and students alike, who know you very well. And of course, along with my supportive family, they realized it was something more than that I was going through. So they helped me seek help. And on a brief sidebar, I want to say something. Mental health matters. We need to do a better job in this society of providing mental health care to everybody who needs it, not just those who can afford it. And we need to do a better job of erasing the stigma that says that seeking mental health care or help is a sign of weakness. It's not. So let's look out for each other, okay? Anyway, every campus, every corner of this campus holds memory for me, but I want to return to one place in particular, the broken arm I mentioned back there on the left side. For most of my life, that memory felt purely awful. You see, growing up, basketball was one of my favorite things. I knew the name of every NBA player. I played every recess, but the thing was, I wasn't very good. I was always by far the smallest player on the team. I wasn't particularly fast. I didn't have very good handles. I mean, I could shoot a little bit, but I was never a standout player. Until sophomore year came along. I had spent that summer going to some basketball camps, and I was feeling pretty confident. And I didn't make the varsity team like some of my friends, but I was the top dog on the Laguna Blanca JV squad. I mean, they were actually drawing up plays to get me the ball. I was feeling pretty good about myself. It was a great season. So we had a game in here on a Saturday morning, and I took a three-point shot from right over there, and I got knocked down. And when I tried to get up, my left arm was bending in a way that a left arm should not be bending. My brother had come back from college and was sitting in the stands up there and was watching me play high school basketball for the first time. The girl I liked was doing the scorebook, and there I was on the floor over there, rolling around, crying and wailing and screaming. It was embarrassing. It was awful. And after that, I kind of fell out of love with basketball. I played one more year, but my heart wasn't in it. So when thinking about this talk and that moment, I couldn't quite put together how it could be important to me. So I stood right there on that spot just a few weeks ago, now as a 41-year-old, and I thought about it. I thought really hard. I reflected upon it. I said, how did that moment construct me? How can I utilize it? And then I remembered something I hadn't thought about for years, maybe even decades. You see, that night, I was at home, and I was laying on the couch feeling sorry for myself and feeling sorry for my aching arm, and the doorbell rang. And up the stairs and into the room came my teammates. They came with gifts: a Bob Marley CD that was missing from my collection, a VHS tape, only some of you know what those are, with a documentary of my celebrity crush at the time, Miss Christina Aguilera. 1999, Genie in a Bottle, right? They sat there with me. They watched some TV. They told me how the game went. The Owls won, by the way. And they just showed up for me. And I decided that, in turn, I was going to show up for them. The rest of that season, I was kind of an unofficial assistant coach in my cast. I did not miss 1 second of any practices or any games. I had a great time. So maybe that unfortunate moment back there led to me becoming a person who wants to show up for other people. You students, my colleagues, my family and friends. Maybe that's what it did for me. And maybe that experience of being the unofficial assistant coach led me into coaching, which is one of my favorite parts of working here at Laguna Blanca School. So here's my challenge for you. In the next week or so, I want you to return to a physical place on this planet where a significant memory, good or bad, took place. And I want you to stand there for a while, or sit, and think, what happened here? How did it change me? And how can I use it to make myself better? My hope is that that exercise bears fruit for you. And also, I hope that as we all go through life, we can continue to cultivate the types of places that you imagined with your eyes closed at the start of this talk. The types of places that can give you grounding and comfort in a world that is increasingly chaotic and scary sometimes. That's my hope for you and for all of us. Thank you so much, and go Owls!